Hi everyone! Today I wanted to do the mid-year freakout tag. So this tag is you kind of go over and talk about the books that you read in the first half of this year. So June is over, so I was like, let me just kind of review the first 6 months. So let's get going. The first question is best book you read so far in this year. So I chose Eliza and Her Monsters. So it was really difficult to choose a book because there was a lot of good books that I've read this year, a lot of fun ones, but I chose this one because not only was it a fun read, it made you think, but there's also art in the middle of it, so I really like that. So I'm going to go with Eliza and Her Monsters. The best sequel you read this year. And then that's the next question. And the best sequel I've read this year, I would say, is Torch in the Night. It was really hard to decide. I was like, oh, should I go with Gemma from the Illuminae files? Which one? But then I decided to go with this one because it took me just like the Gemino, it took me very quick to read, and it was like I was watching a movie. So I decided to go with this one as the best sequel that I've read. The next question is new release you haven't read yet but want to. There hasn't been really any new releases that I want to read that I haven't. Any new release that I've been specifically wanting to read, I get it the first day or the first couple days. But there have been a couple of fairy tale retellings. I think there's a Swan Lake one and a Sleeping Beauty one that seem interesting, so I'll go with those. The most anticipated release for the second half of this year, and I'm going to go with, see if I can show you, Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo. I am so excited for this book. It's coming out. So hopefully I will be able to read it quickly, give you guys a review, but I like superheroes. There's I think 4 authors who are going to write stories. I think Leigh Bardugo is doing Wonder Woman, somebody else is doing Superman, somebody else is doing Batman, and then there's Catwoman, I think Sarah J. Maas or Cassandra Clare or somebody is doing Catwoman. So I'm super excited about this series, and I want all the books. So Wonder Woman is my most anticipated read for the second half. The next question is biggest disappointment. So if you've seen my channel, the biggest disappointment was this one, One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. I was so excited to read it. I wanted a thriller. It was good, but just it was very disappointing to me. I did a review on it, so you can see that if you would like more of my thoughts on this book. This next one is biggest surprise, and I went with the Illuminae files. So I'm not a sci-fi reader, and when I started the Illuminae files, I just kept hearing that it was really good. I started it and couldn't put it down. This is just a very interesting story. It's told through emails, text, surveillance cameras. So this one, I was surprised that I liked the sci-fi aspect of it, but it was really good. So I'm gonna go with the Illuminae files. Favorite author, debut or new to you? And I'm going to go with Casey West. I love Casey West. I just started reading her books this year, and I can't put them down. I think I've read basically almost all her books, because they are just so fun, fluffy, make you laugh. This is probably one of my favorite ones that I read, P.S. I Like You. It's about this girl. She writes song lyrics on her desk. The next day, the song lyrics are finished. She doesn't know who's doing it, but it's the guy she really loathes at her school. So it's this kind of romantic comedy type of thing. But all her books are really cute, really fluffy. One is coming out in a month, so I'm really excited to read that one. The next question is, newest fictional crush. So, I wasn't quite sure where to go with this, so I decided to go with kind of the cute kind of relationship, new cute relationship that I liked. It was Cress and Captain Thorn from The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Mayer. I love Captain Thorn. He's just, oh, yeah. He's kind of like a mix between Han Solo and Captain Hook and Prince Charming. Yeah, just he's a mix of all that. Yeah, the relationship between him and Cress is so cute. This is a retelling of like Rapunzel, but they're set in space, so she's kind of in the satellite, and then he comes, rescues her, then they go on this adventure. But yeah, my favorite fictional crush is Captain Thorn. Favorite character. So, there are so many good characters in the books that I read this year, but I'm going to go with the best kind of like ensemble. And I really liked Six of Crows and The Crooked Kingdom. The characters are all very different, and you can't help but feeling a little bit invested in them. So I'm going to go with the Six of Crows duology for favorite characters. Especially Kaz and NJ. They're really good. I like them. So I'm going to go with Six of Crows for favorite characters. Books that made you cry. I don't really cry in books, so there hasn't really been any. The closest I've got to where I was like, oh, I can't believe they're doing that, was A Torch Against the Night. There was one scene, pause, don't listen if you don't want any spoilers, but there was a part where they kill one of the main character's families right in front of her, and it was just really sad, really emotional. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. But it was, yeah, that's the closest I got. Book that made you happy. And there was no question in my mind what book it would be. It was Geekerella. I read this super fast. I had to get the audiobook. It was such a cute book. It made me happy. That's why I had to get it on audio too. It's about this girl who, unbeknownst, she starts texting the main character in the new reboot of her favorite sci-fi series. And it just makes me happy, and it's about fandom, it's about nerdiness. I just love it. Yeah. So, Geekerella. This is actually one that I was kind of debating with favorite book of the year. But yeah, I love this book. It just makes me happy. Favorite book to film adaptation. I haven't really seen any of the big name movies that came out for book film adaptations. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and go with Beauty and the Beast, kind of a movie tie-in. So, Beauty and the Beast, Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly, is very much a tie-in into the movie that came out earlier this year. I loved it, so I'm glad I read this one. Speaking of movies, though, I can tell you the book to movie adaptation that I'm super, super, super excited to see this coming year, and that is Murder on the Orient Express. I am so super excited to see it. There's a ton of famous people in it. I love Agatha Christie and the mysteries. I've seen a couple versions of Murder on the Orient Express, and I'm excited to see that one. So, kind of that one. So, favorite review that you've favorite video review that you've done so far this year. So, my favorite video that I've done so far was the You're Not Good Enough book tag, where I put names in a cup, you draw 2, you read a question, and you have to choose which character kind of goes with that. I hope I can do another one similar to that, because that one was so fun to do. I'll actually link that video down in the description below. But it made me laugh. It was fun. I really enjoyed doing that. So I think that was my favorite video to film this year. Most beautiful book you've bought this year. So there have been so many pretty books come out by publishers this year. Flame in the Mist was a great one. When Dimple Met Rishi, I love the covers of that one. But I'm going to have to go with one that came out a couple years ago, but I finally bought it this year. And it's the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Just the illustrations are so pretty. It just makes you want to read Harry Potter all over again. The pages and the pictures are just absolutely gorgeous. I splurged a little bit on this one, but I'm so glad I did, because it's just so pretty. So that's that one. And the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? There are so many books that I want to get done by the end of the year, but the one book that I just want to complete, because it's been bugging me, is Cleopatra. So if you've seen some of my videos, I've put this on my to-be-read list for a couple months and didn't get to it, but I am determined to read it by the end of the year. It's a Pulitzer Prize winner. It's good from so far, from what I've read. So I'm hopefully going to read this the second half of the year. So that's the mid-year freak-out tag. Hopefully I can do something like this at the end of the year, kind of reviewing all the books with little subjects like that. Hope you enjoyed it, and like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Thanks. Bye.